Okay, and at this time, the chair calls Jose Ortiz. Hi. Please state your name, whom you represent, and if you are on for or against HB 575.
Hi, my name is Jose Ortiz. I am for HB 575, and I'm here representing myself and my aunt. I'm going to retell our family story, as it can be too difficult for her to recount, too painful. I support HB 575 because the current law is narrow, inflexible, and does not allow for human special circumstances. For example, the story of my cousin and my niece. My cousin has Noonan syndrome, which entails cognitive and learning disabilities along with physical attributes. She has subjected my niece, who is 10, to instability and abrupt separations from her family 3 times in her short life without recognizing any damage done to her. My cousin lived with my aunt until the age of 30, unable to support herself. She married Isabella's father and lived in his mother's home for 4 years, and Isabella was born during that time. When Isabella was 3, my cousin separated from her father and came to Austin, where my aunt had just moved from Atlanta. Isabella used to cry a lot, and I started noticing she became more temperamental, kind of not as comfortable with her family. When she moved in with my aunt basically was a full-time parent with her, helped care and support her. They all grew very attached. We kind of would visit a lot. We all became we had our system going. Everything worked out pretty well. After 3 years, my cousin met someone online, a 46-year-old man who'd never been married, had no job. Only time I spoke to him told me about his PTSD syndrome, like stuff like that. 6 months later, he told us that he wanted to marry her. And my aunt told the man that she was already legally married in another state. He became furious and left, and that's when my cousin left with Isabella, my niece. Sorry. My cousin was only 6 years old the last time we saw her. My cousin then went on to marry this man without getting a divorce from the first man. My niece has only met this man 12 times, the one that she now has to call dad and obey him. In October of 2015, Isabella's father and my aunt got a visitation order. For 3 years, my aunt picked up Isabella 3 times per month and every Wednesday, which led to them growing closer. Isabella loved seeing us and talking on the phone with her family in Georgia, with her father's family. Sorry, I'm getting nervous.
It's okay.
So the man my cousin moved in with hired attorneys to make sure that we wouldn't be able to see my cousin anymore. From one day to the next, Isabella was cut off from her family again, and I wanted to say, is this in the best interest of the child?
Okay.
Isabella has medical problems that are not being fully addressed, among those Noonan syndrome, which is the same one that my cousin has.
I'm sorry, we have to...
Sorry.
But you're saying that this is your niece, she has the syndrome as well?
I believe so. Okay. And I feel like the court has failed to do justice with her, because we're all pretty sure she has it. She hasn't been tested for it. My cousin has it, and it's just been not addressed, and now we can't see her anymore because my aunt has lost visitation rights, because as a grandparent she has no rights. So if as a grandparent she has no rights, then as family members we're losing the family members.
So the previous visitation was just...
It was revoked because she's a grandparent, so there's really no...
It wasn't something that was set up by the court, it was just something that they were doing?
My aunt had visitation rights with Isabella.
But was that given by the court?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but then it was later revoked.
In Atlanta or in
Texas?
In Texas.
Yeah, everything's in Texas.
Okay.
So later on, those are revoked, which is now where we are now, where we can't see her.
Why was it revoked?
Because grandparents have no rights, basically.
But she was given him originally because why?
It was kind of like in a base-by-base to see, because it was given to the child's father.
Okay.
Which is then kind of like who we are close with, who lets us see the child, but her dad's sick and lives in Georgia. So it's just kind of those special instances.
So the Texas dad left and went to Georgia?
No, there was no Texas father. Sorry. When I say the Texas father, it's the man my cousin ran off with.
Okay.
Who now my little niece has to call dad.
Okay. But they're also here in Texas?
Yes, they're all in Bastrop.
Okay. So the birth father lives in Atlanta?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Members, do you have any questions? No? Okay, thank you.